Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Computer Connectors video channel. Today we'll be talking about folders and files, and in particular we're going to cover the following 5 topics. Selecting files from multiple files, copy or cut and pasting files, organizing files within folders, creating .zip or compressed folders, and we'll talk about some of the advantages of .zip or compressed folders. Now the first thing we're going to do today is go to a folder which contains some files we're going to work with today. So we're going to start out today with a folder called Unorganized Files. And we're opening up that folder, and this folder contains 6 different files. And we're actually going to imagine today that instead of 6 different files, that maybe this folder holds 600 different files. And the reason we're going to do that is because whether you're a student or an employee or a business owner, over the course of a couple of years, it would be very easy to accumulate 100 or maybe even thousands of files, and to find one of those files maybe a year later, if you haven't organized them in some way, might be a little difficult. And so one of the topics we're going to do today is how to copy and paste those files and create some sort of organization out of that list of files. So the first thing we need to do today is kind of start from ground zero in terms of how to select these files so that we can move them from where they're at now into a more organized structure. So the first thing we're going to do here is show you how to select files. Now notice that I'm using my mouse here, and if I click on that first file, it gives me a little thumbnail down here in the bottom telling me or showing me what that file looks like, maybe a little bit more information down here. But if I click on another file, notice that whenever I click on a file, the one that I clicked on previously to it is no longer selected. So I actually have to use a little bit of a key / mouse combination to select more than one file at any particular time. And so I could do this one at a time, but I'm going to show you how to do it with more than one file at a time. So if I wanted to take, notice there's 2 picture files here. If I wanted to take both of these picture files and move those to a new folder without having to do them individually, again remembering that in this particular folder we may have even 600. Let's say we have 200 picture files. What I can do is I can click on that first picture file and then hold down either the Shift or the Control key and then click the next file. Notice now that this blue highlighting for these 2 files indicates that they're both selected. The difference between the Shift and the Control keys, a little demonstration there. If I click on this first one and hold down the Control key and then click on the last one, notice that I have selected those 2 separate files, but none of the files in between. Now the difference is if I click on that first file again and then hold down the Shift key and then click on the last file, notice now that all those files in between are selected as well. So if you have a series of files and you want to select all of the files from the beginning to the last, the easiest way is to click on the first one, hold down the Shift key, click on the last one, and you'll be able to select quickly that way all of those files. But if you just want to do 2, maybe 3, or more files, the best way to do that then is hold down the Control key and select as many files as you would like. You can also unselect a file, again, by holding down the Control key and clicking on it with the mouse. So what I've done here is I've clicked on the first 2 using the Control key. I'm going to copy those, and then I'm going to use my back arrow key, and since they are picture files, I'm going to organize those into a folder called Pictures. And if I right click with my mouse in this white space and hit paste, there are my 2 pictures inside of this folder called Pictures. I'm going to use my backspace key, go back to my unorganized files. This time I want to move my 2 website links. So I'm clicking on this first one. I'm going to hold down the control key, click on that second one. Notice that both are selected. Right click on either one of those and click on copy. Use that back arrow. And since these are website link files, I'm going to put those in a folder called website links. And clicking anywhere inside of that white space, actually right clicking inside of that white space, and click paste. Now I have those two files, those two website link files, inside of a folder called website links. I'm going to do quickly here the next couple, which I'm going to do individually because there are different types of files. Here's a training file, a quick reference card. Right click on that and hit copy. And I'm going to put that in a folder called training. Paste that there. And one more file called sample Word doc, and that's just a sample document created with Microsoft Word. I'm going to copy that and put that inside of a folder called MS Word Documents. So notice now what I've done is I've taken all of these unorganized files and I've placed those in separate folders, which will now allow me to find them more quickly because they're organized by topic or even by file type. In this particular one, file type is pictures or Word documents, or maybe by topic under training, which contains my quick reference card. So you can create any number of subfolders and organize them either by topic or by name or by file type. It's really up to you how you organize them, but this is one great way of accomplishing that organization. The next thing I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about zipped folders. Now, zipped folders are a special kind of folder. In reality, they are a single file stored on your Windows box or even your Macintosh computer. But from an end user perspective, let's just consider them a folder. So if I click in this zipped files compressed folder, this .zip file, you'll notice that I have these same documents under here. No organization there. What I can also do is create a new zip folder. So I right click here in the white space, hit new compressed folder, and I'm going to call this one organized zipped files. And I'm going to take this folder and all four of those folders actually, and I'm going to right click them and copy, and now I'm going to put those inside of my organized zip folder. So now I have those folders and files that I organized a little bit ago inside of this zipped file called organized zipped files. Now, what's the advantage of doing that? Mostly the advantage is going to be in terms of being able to share your files with someone else. Zipped files are easy to send to other people because you can send multiple folders and multiple files with only one attachment in an email. For instance, if I have 10 different pictures that I took with my digital camera, and I want to send those to a friend of mine, what I would need to do if I was going to send those through email would be to go into my email and attach 10 different picture files to that one particular email, or maybe even create 10 different emails all going to that same person. But if I used a compressed or a zipped folder, I could put all of those 10 picture files into that zipped folder and then just send that one zipped file or that one zipped folder through email to my friend, who would then be able to open up that zipped folder and look at the pictures that I had sent them. One way of doing that, let me give you one example of how to do that. I just have an email account here, and I'm going to compose a new message, and I'm just going to create a temporary address. Don't send any email to this address because I'm not even sure if it's a valid address, but I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to use it for demonstration pur And for the subject, I'm going to call it My Files. Actually, it's My Organized Files. And then I'm just going to say See Attachment. And now if I click on that Attach button over here, and I'm going to attach this one zip file containing all of my organized files. And then I would just hit Send there. So that quickly is how to send files to other people in an easy zipped file format, thereby alleviating the need to create separate emails and attaching separate files to separate emails. And also, as we saw in summary, how to organize files into separate folders. So hopefully all that made sense to you. I look forward to seeing or training again with you on different topics. Stay tuned to our channel to learn more about MS Office and Microsoft Windows, as well as various other computer topics. And thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again. Thanks.